other Orthodox Muslims who fasted in the month of Ramadan. But now Minister Farrakhan has his community, along with the other Muslims around the world, fasting during the month of Ramadan. So again, this is pointing toward the emergence of that group toward Orthodox Islam.
And your interaction with them after, by meeting them, did you feel like they were getting the message that there's a change underway?
Absolutely. I think that, all changes take time. And I think that, and I told the Muslims, the Orthodox Muslims, and I really hate to say Orthodox Muslims or Sunni Muslims. I like to say Muslims, but because there are differences, just to understand what we mean by Islam, I'll say Orthodox Islam. But Islam is Islam. Definitely, they're getting the message, but it's a slow process. And Minister Farrakhan is using his own wisdom to introduce the full concept of Islam. Allah mentioned in the Quran, Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum, this day have I perfected for you your religion. And so now, slowly, Minister Farrakhan is guiding his community toward Islam, and they're growing. And I can cite many examples of their growth. I was received very well. A number of the imams, after my Jummah prayer service, invited me to their temples around the country to come give talks. And I have a good relationship with many of their ministers. And I think, this is my own personal opinion, that some of the best Muslims will come out of the Nation of Islam.
And you find that now they're receptive and ready to hear the message of Orthodox Islam?
I think many of them are. I think some of them may still have some reluctancy, because sometimes they may look at Orthodox Islam as that Arab religion, and they don't want to follow the Arabs. But we're trying to let them know that Islam is not an Arab religion. Islam is the religion of humanity. So in fact, it's interesting that Arabs represent a minority of the Muslims around the world. And you start adding the Muslims in Asia and the Muslims in Africa and the Muslims all over the world. The Arabs actually represent a minority in the number of Muslims. So we want to let them know, no, it's not an Arab religion, it's our natural religion, it's the religion that God created man. And yes.
Imam Siraj, tell us a bit about after you left the Nation of Islam and established Islam in this area. Did you come directly here, or were there some other intermediary steps before you established this masjid here?
This masjid was established in this particular area in 1981. We opened the masjid in 1981. I was a part of, again, the evolving Nation of Islam. When Elijah Muhammad died in 1975 and his son took over, and Imam Wafdi Muhammad began to, I learned later on, gradually transform his community orthodoxy. But I left before that. When I began to really understand Islam, Allah blessed me in 1978. I went to Umar University and in the Imam training program. At that time, King Abdulaziz University. And I was blessed, along with a couple of Imams in the United States, to actually study there. And we studied the Arabic language, and we studied Hadith, and we studied the history of Islam and Islamic law and things like that. So, and that was my evolving stage of Islam. And so I left that community, the Nation of Islam, the world community of Islam in the West, if you would. I left that in 1981. And we actually, our first masjid of Taqwa wasn't actually in this building. It was in a place called Hancock Street, and it was in a brother's apartment. And a handful of us, about 25 of us, on Fridays used to push the furniture out of his living room and have Jummah prayer service right there.
Imam, tell us a bit about the area and how it was at the time, and how you came to acquire this building for the masjid.
In December of 1981, I was driving around and I saw this place was available. It was property owned by the city. And there was going to be an auction in 81. We attended the auction and bought this property from the city at the, by the way, which is interesting, at the minimum upset price, which was, I think, I can't remember whether it was 25,000 or 30,000.
Wow.
And buildings were going for 500,000, 600,000, $1 million. And we thought nowhere in the world that we were going to get this for the very minimum upset price. And the reason that we thought that was the case is because this was one of the worst areas in the city in terms of crime. We had the captain of the 79th precinct, which is this area, said that at that time that this was one of the worst precincts in the city
Mm-hmm.
in terms of drugs, death, shootings, robberies, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Allah blessed us when we got it in 1981 to begin to clean up the area.
Imam, if you can just tell us a bit about what the area was like when you established the masjid in this area, and how the Muslims were able to kind of reform and make this a better area for the whole community.
Let me just give you an idea of what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it now, it's very difficult to imagine what it was. This area was an area of light.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, darkness, literally dark. We had 15 crack houses on this block alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided, and I think it was 1987 or 88, to have an anti-drug campaign in this area to get rid of those drug houses.
Mm.
So we had an alliance with the police department. We said that let's have a big rally, anti-drug rally, thousands of people on such a date. We did it. And I said, on that date, we want you to raid each one of these 15 drug houses and get the drug dealers out.
Mm-hmm.
And we said to them that if you get them out, we'll keep them out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. We had a 40 days, 40 nights anti-drug campaign where literally we, the Muslim men, stood in front of the drug houses
Mm-hmm.
and told the drug dealers and the drug buyers, no more drugs can be sold here.
But Imam, just to make a point here, that's not something which is easy to do, and it's quite dangerous.
That is very dangerous to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the brothers, with the courage, the faith in Allah, the Almighty, and working together, and the knowledge about drug dealers, and this is the drug dealers, they're business people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they don't want attention drawn to them. So what they thought, they calculated that, oh, they'll be there for a couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go back as business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? There was a lot of publicity.